Prime suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalee Holloway, Jorn Vandersloot, reportedly told a friend he and his father, quote, took care of things just 2 days after Holloway disappeared. According to a report in The Messenger, a never-before-seen email from 2010 was sent to someone named David G. Vandersloot writing, quote, my dad got a boat 2 days later. We went for a ride and took care of things. That's all I'm going to say. Vandersloot has made several claims about what happened to the 18-year-old over the years. In fact, he was extradited to the U.S. in June from a prison in Peru to face federal charges that he extorted Natalee Holloway's grieving mother by promising to tell her where her daughter's body was buried in exchange for $250,000, information that turned out to be a complete fiction. Well, a grand jury in Alabama indicted Vandersloot in 2010 after Beth Holloway sent him $25,000. He was charged with one count of wire fraud and one charge of extortion. Vandersloot entered a not guilty plea in June. A Holloway spokesperson spoke outside the courthouse.
A conviction would bring closure, justice, as close as we can obtain closure in a matter like this, tragic outcome. But just to have him serve, if maximum, it would be 40 years here. That would be, some resemblance of closure.
So the email address Vandersloot used to contact Holloway's family was from the same Yahoo account he used to email his friend in 2010. And Vandersloot reportedly traveled to Peru using the money he allegedly extorted from the Holloways, where he murdered another woman, Stephanie Flores Ramirez, who was strangled to death at a casino in Lima exactly 5 years after Holloway disappeared. Vandersloot is currently serving a 28-year sentence for her death. Vandersloot has not been charged in Holloway's death. She was declared legally dead in 2012, but he has always remained the prime suspect. Natalee, who was on a high school graduation trip to Aruba, was last seen leaving a bar with Vandersloot. That was in 2005. Since her disappearance, Vandersloot has told multiple conflicting stories about what happened. During a hidden camera interview with Dutch journalists in 2008, he claimed the teen had a seizure and died as they had sex on the beach. Then he and a friend dumped her body into the sea, he said. 2 years later, he claimed his father dumped Natalee's body at a construction site. But officials in Aruba have long suspected that Natalee's body was dumped at sea, especially since her remains have never been found. They've interviewed numerous boat operators over the years, and now we've learned they recently interviewed another one. Vandersloot is currently being held at an Alabama jail, awaiting trial right now. And joining me live is Steve Helling. He is a senior crime reporter at The Messenger who exclusively reported the never-before-seen 2010 email from Jorn Vandersloot. I mean, Steve, this is like a pretty explosive email that he said, my dad got a boat 2 years later. We went for a ride and took care of things. That's all I'm going to say. How did investigators come across this email? Why is this just now coming out now?
Well, obviously there's a lot more that's going on as they're getting ready for a trial that could happen later this year or early next year. Jorn Vandersloot has had trouble coming up with any sort of plea deal in this case. So there's a lot of investigation going on. These emails came from the same account as the emails that went to Natalee Holloway's family. So of course, investigators have checked those out and have started to connect the dots and see what type of things was Jorn talking about in 2010.
And you learned that they also interviewed another boat driver. Is that all somehow connected to this email? What do we know about that?
Well, you see, what they're trying to do here is, the crux of the matter in this extortion case against Jorn is that he lied to Natalee Holloway's family's attorney. That's the whole point. He shook them down for a lot of money. So in order to prove that he lied, they have to find out, what other things has he been saying. And so, he says that he went on a boat with his dad to take care of things. And they have to check that out. So, there's a lot of moving pieces here. Aruba is very aware of this. So as they're moving forward, Jorn is still prime suspect number one in the Natalee Holloway disappearance and murder. And, this could really come back to haunt him.
Yeah, and there's just still so many unanswered questions, though, Steve. But that email, I mean, that is really telling of all the developments we've seen over the years. That is significant. Thank you so much for joining us. Great job breaking that. That's it for Abrams tonight.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.